right, race 6 at Rosehill. This is the first of the quaddie legs, and of course it's pretty important that we point that out because there's a big jackpot at play.
Yeah, there is a big jackpot, 100 large ones. Look at that, quaddie jackpot for New South Wales tab customers. So your first leg, as Ben alluded to, is race 6, and surely we're just one outing here in the first.
Pretty close, I reckon. Close to a one-out job as you can get.
It was so impressive, wasn't it, the other day? I can imagine it would only be one-way traffic, although it did open at $1.90 and still there.
Yeah, and look, they had an all-in market for the Expressway Stakes tab open earlier in the week before final fields and everything came out, and it was even money, and that was snapped up. So $1.90 final field. It holds all the cash. Interesting though, they're backing out Handfast. The place. Lots of money around for Handfast. So remembering that you're only going to get your 1-2 place divvies here, but yeah, Music Magnate, give it strength, please. Please.
Please. Racing and Sports provide us with the speed map. Let's take a look at it for this race. So should get a nice sit behind Ball of Muscle and Kuro. Look at that. Barrier 2. It all looks pretty at this stage, Adam.
He trails the Joe Pride pair, gets a beautiful run in transit. I think he's probably just a class horse here, Ben, and wins this race.
Is that the trial to have a look at, the Winks trial?
How many times do you reckon we've seen this trial on Sky Racing over the last couple of weeks? 34, 35 times we're up to now?
I shouldn't point this out, but we don't see a heap of Music Magnate towards the end either. Unfortunately, it's all focused on Winks, which was fair enough.
Usually that's indicative of a horse struggling, but in this case it was absolutely flying. It was low flying out in front. Just going through the record of this Expressway Stakes, it's a funny sort of race. You sort of get a few sprinters who've been racing through summer and sort of progress onto this race. You get a lot of fresh horses getting ready for the carnival. And traditionally it's been a race where the fresh horses generally go well, and our boy Malachi won this race last year. Very similar profile to Music Magnate, raced through the Queensland winter, had a very long break, missed the spring, came back for this race and won it convincingly. I think Music Magnate just does the same thing here, man. Around the $1.90 is probably a fair enough price. We get even money, you can really step in, I think.
Same day. Different trial. Which one caught your eye, Libby?
I liked Handfast, and I remembered this horse because after watching quite a few of his replays, I discovered that he was a horse that I would like to ride. He's a big, lanky type, but he just travels absolutely beautifully. There's the big, lanky chestnut out the back, and he's just got such a lovely length of stride. And even on this track obviously has a bit of give to it, would be a little bit treacherous underfoot, but he just swallows up the ground. So I do like this bloke. I think he's got a horse with plenty of upside to him, so a nice horse to keep an eye on.
Enough to bring you out of retirement.
Well, if they would let me back out of retirement, there's a couple here I'd like to ride, but if I had my choice, I'd probably be riding Music Magnate.
Yeah, that's probably fair enough too. I assume that's going to be the top tip, Adam.
Going to stick with him, Ben, on to reproduce his trials to win here. And just to mention Handfast, he ran about a second quicker than Handfast's trial as well on the same morning. So he's got the runs on the board. Clearly the on-top pick for me. Handfast is definitely the Quinella horse for all Libby's reasons she mentioned. Attention had some interest here. I haven't minded his trials. Weight for age is a little bit of a query, but the last time he was at 1,200 metres, he almost beat winning Rupert during the Brisbane Winter Carnival. So that's a decent push. And I thought Kuro was the best of the rest after that stakes win at Gosford.
Libby?
Yeah, I obviously like Music Magnate. This is the class horse of this field. But I do want to mention the fact that whilst he beat Winks, and there's been a bit of a hype around that trial, obviously, for Winks, Winks has never, ever won a trial in her life. She's always ridden coldly. So he has won, and he's run a nice time, but he hasn't beaten the track superstar. The second, I've got Handfast. Obviously, we've talked about him, obviously. Kuro, I liked his last start effort. He was trapped 3 wide and he had to make a very long-winded, wide run into the straight. And he stuck to his guns well and worried them out of it. And then Ball of Muscle, tough campaigner, ran second in this last year. He'll give a bold sight.